Hello guys, welcome back to Cardfight channel. And we're here with me, Kevin, and a long time no see, guys. It's been a while since I upload a new video to the channel, mainly because a lot of things been going on, and I haven't been to play that much. But I still play from time to time, especially I try to join a big tournament near my city, and since it's now on the spike season, on the spike review season, I'm getting really hyped with Vanguard again. And yeah, I think this is the first time I use webcam on the video. Because a lot of the other cardfighter YouTuber also do it, so I try to do it too. I think it's gonna be a good experience for me. So currently it's the Raging Tactics spoiler season, and I've been really loving it because, you know guys, I really love Spike Brothers, and I've been hyped a lot of this set, and I try to make a review video every week. So every weekend I upload a new video about all the new Spike cards that have been revealed over the week, and let's talk about it and how good, and I'm trying to gonna review all the cards from the Spike Brothers. So in the first week we got 6 cards already, which is a really good amount. For the first card, which is the first card of the day, we have the offensive Panther. So it's a great one, rarity. So you get the skill Auto Rear Circle. When it boosts, you can pay Soul Blast 1, and this unit get power plus 2k until the end of the battle. And at the end of the battle, you draw a card and put this unit back on the bottom of your deck. This card is really good because it's basically like a Gary Gannon, which doesn't need to hit, but it costs you Soul Blast, and it also gain a plus 2k power, which when you see it, it's like, oh, it's just 2k, when it doesn't get it won't change anything, right? But when you think it again, it's actually give a lot of line, a good power and good magic power. Imagine like your opponent still at grade 2, you boost a Braki or any grade 2, and it become a 10k booster, which means a magic number to grade 2. If you boost a Juggernaut maximum, it will reach the magic number against Force Vanguard. If you boost a grade 1, boosting a grade 1 with this Offensive Panther, it means that this guy will turn the grade 1 into like 18k or 28 power depending on the grade 1, which means it's magic number to Force Vanguard. And it's also draw you a card which refresh your hand, help you to dig your deck more to find your combo pieces, or find like your grade 3 or your grade 3 to your optimal grade 3, right? Like that. And the best thing from this card is his second skill is, when your opponent, you may call this card into the rare god cycle. So this basically it's a forerunner, but this really good because it means that it's a free +1 for Spike Brothers, free early +1. Imagine you write this, you write the Spike Bouncer over this, you call from Spike Bouncer, and then you call this card, means you get +2 as early on your grade 2, right? And after you call it, you can Soul Blast and return to the deck and draw one card, which is really good. It's give you a plus in your field, give you a power line, and also refresh your hand and help you dig your deck deeper. But the Soul Blast is sometimes can be kind of heavy in the early game, but on the late game, I think the Soul Blast doesn't really that heavy anymore. It's like it's basically free, near to free in the late game. So this is the first card of the day in the Spike Brothers, and then we get the reveal on the Tuesday, which is we get our VR revealed already. This is the Death Hit Do Spike, our new VR of the Spike Brothers in the new set. So This guy get the skill on the Vanguard circle. When one of your unit attack, you may cause Soul Blast 1 and move all your force marker to that unit circle. It means that when you attack, you may Soul Blast 1 and that attacking unit, you gain all force marker you have on your field. This means that this guy, when you write it, it's and you can choose like force 1 or force 2. If you choose force 2, mean that all of your attack from that turn until the end of the game, it will be 2 critical, no matter like how much you write. You only need to write 1 card as long as you have the soul to do it, which is really easy considering a lot of Spike Brothers card, Soul Charge itself, like Soul Charge card from your hand, Soul Charge from deck, Soul Charge from the field. So the Soul Blast one is really good cost because it's easy to pay in Spike Brothers. And if you have force 1, you can stack it, like write it 2 times, or maybe write Siegfried first to build up soul, and then write this on the second one, and you can get 2 force maker stock. So every time your unit attack, it gain free 20k, which is really good. If you compare it with Siegfried, it's maybe still like 50-50, but we look at the second skill. It's this auto Vanguard circle. Once per turn, when the attack of your unit on the circle with a force marker does not hit, you draw a card and retire one of your opponent rear guard, which is mean that it's basically 3+2. And I think the condition is really easy. Basically, unlike Siegfried, which need him to hit, this guy is like a Shadow Stitch from Murakumo back then. So when an attack does not hit, you may retire one and draw 1 card, which is really good, especially against force like that depends on the board states like Bermuda or Royal Paladin with their Blaster Blade, or even Shadow Paladin with his Blaster Dart, and it's really good. If you compare this with Siegfried, this is I think Siegfried and Death Hit have both of their positive and negative, but I think this on the long run, Death Hit will be better than Siegfried, especially because his first skill is powerful first skill. So the thing with Siegfried is a powerful unit on the early game. I think Siegfried is stronger than this card when during your first ride. But the thing with Siegfried is that card get weaker as the game goes on, because when the game goes on, your resource depleted, all of your copy in your deck already spent. So Siegfried in late game, especially something like against Protect or in the grinding game, it's really weak because you probably already out of your target and he can't use his skill anymore. But with this Deathhead Blue Spike, this card is a monster from the mid game into the late game. You can use his skill like continuously, and it doesn't have any counter blast. And soul cost is really easy. So basically this guy keep rolling and rolling from mid game into the late game without non-stop, which I think it's still a good way to put this guy and Siegfried on the same deck. But we still need to see more cards revealed in this spoiler season. But this guy, it's good. Also, the thing with this guy is it's work good in premium if we use this Bad End Dragger. You stride into the good end, and you double brick right with Death Hit Blue Spike on the top, which means that every time your combo Bad End Dragger attack while unit attack, you may move your force marker to the attacker, which means that if you force 2, it get 2 critical continuously, and if you use force 1, it means that you get a continuously higher power. And with how good end deck works, your soul blast is pretty much always filled every time you attack. That means that the cost might be not there, is you can say it's free. Also, when your attack does not hit, you draw a card, which means that more fuel to attacking, because in good end turn, in premium, more cards in hand means more attack with using the Gyro Slanger or the Mecha Strength trigger. So this guy, so far, even though it's only little cards been revealed, few cards been revealed, this guy is already pretty good already, in my opinion. So moving to the next card, we got the Double R Grade 2 D-Range Tedious. It's got a skill Auto Regard Circle. When it attacks, you may counter bless 1 and move all your force marker to this unit cycle. Means that this card is pretty much the Deadhead rearguard version with counter bless cost, which pretty good, especially in the early game, because in early game your soul might not build that much, so you might have the option to use counter blast instead of using the soul blast from Deadhead Blue Spike. And it also has the skill that Vanguard Circle, when it attack hits, this unit have the force marker. You may retire Vanguard, your opponent Vanguard, which is pretty good. Preserve your opponent on the early turn. If your opponent is still in the low damage, you preserve him or retire one, and you can move the force marker to him with counter blast 1 or soul blast 1 if you have that hit on your Vanguard Circle. This card is pretty good, but the problem with this card is both of his skill needs a force marker on it. Means that this guy doesn't really do anything in early game before Grade 3, right? Which pretty much vanilla on the Grade 1 and Grade 2 turn. But on the late game, I think it's pretty good, because with that hit Blue Spike as your main Vanguard, you doesn't really use counter blast that much anymore. So I can see his counter blast skill will be oftenly used to preserve the soul for Deadhead Blue Spike. Next one, we get a common from the stream, Perfect Needle. Simple skill continues on the Vanguard Cycle. If this guy get the force marker, you get plus 10k power, which is pretty good for a common. You might see use of him or no, depends on the future release. But I think we don't really use him because there are still a lot of cards yet to be refilled. But as a common, it's really good. Next one on the new card of the day, we got the Grade 1 Jackknife Janice, which is Auto Rearguard Circle. At the end of the battle, it boosts a rearguard. You may put the at the end of the battle, it boosts a rearguard, and that unit cycle has a force marker in it. You may counter blast 1 and that rearguard that attacking put into the soul, and you draw a card. This girl, is basically Machine Gun Gloria back then in the BT16, but better Gloria. He's got the V serious stats, 10k shield, 8k power, and then the one attacking is put in on the soul instead on return to the bottom of the deck, which means that more soul, more combo, more Deadhead Blue Spike skill. But the thing is, just like the D-Range Tedious, this girl with force marker on the attacking unit, which means that it cannot be used early game. But I think for now, in the future, I think there's more better card. But as far as refilled, I think this girl is pretty good to put in the deck, like one off, so you can have more option on drawing and refill soul, especially in the Deadhead Blue Spike, which really counter blast free. You like to use a lot of counter blast rearguard to maximize your resources. So the last one we got is the Grade 3 common without gift. breaking Grand Mobile, Auto Vanguard Circle. When your Vanguard attack costs Counterblast 1, Soulless 1, Persona. So you Counterblast 1 and Persona Blast from your soul, and this guy stand again. So this is a really good sign for Spike Brother in the future. Means that Bushiroad try to give us multi attack, but this guy is a common and his cost is quite hard to use. So it's quite a funny card in my opinion, because looking at his soul, he needs a Persona Soul Blast, which means that the most efficient way to use this card is using a General Favorite. But if you use General Favorite, then your Counter Blast isn't that free anymore, which means that this guy good in the Counter Blast free deck in Death Hit Bull Spike. But if you use Death Hit Bull Spike, there is no efficient way to put another copy of it into your soul, which put this card in a kind of awkward states. In the deck, it can actually use his skill. It's kind of heavy, and in the deck you want to use his skill, it's almost has an expensive cost, and it's not a consistent one. But I think this guy is a good example that in the future maybe we will get a lot of another multi-attacking, who knows. But this guy is actually, if we look and we look about it all, is a pretty good common in my opinion. I think it's good in the secret focus deck, but we might see new support in the future. So we might see it later. So that's all, guys, for the support of Spike Brothers Raging Tactics Extra Booster 9 week number 1, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and see you guys on the second week. Goodbye.